Hello and welcome back to the ranch. Sorry it's been so long since I've got a video up. Life and work can be busy. It has been so long, in fact, that here on the server, winter has come. The snows have fallen. Alright, so last time when we left, we were here at our clay, and we have, I'll pull up my inventory, a bunch of clay now. Where is it? There it is. In fact, 50 key of clay, which is a lot of clay, and it's very, very hard to walk around with it. So for a moment, I'm going to drop it on the ground, and here's my nice pile of clay. I open it up, there we are, 50 key of clay, 25 of them. You notice there's various qualities, and that'll become important when we start to craft. Let me start my timer. There we go, just to keep track of what's going on. Now today we're going to do some clay work, and to do that we need some tools. So luckily there's a tree right here, because the tools for working with clay are going to be wood. So while I'm on my way to this tree, I will choose my axe. There we go. And we're going to get some wood. Oh, 2 trees. So we have over here it says that's a mature cherry tree. How is that a mature cherry tree? Look at the size of it. It's tiny. And a bigger cherry tree, which is actually overaged. So we're going to cut the overaged one down. There's our skills going up. And this is taking quite a bit because our skills are so low. And now I have a piece of wood. Excellent. I'm going to come back for you when you're grown up. Actually, before I leave, let's go ahead and make our tools. Hatchet. I actually have 3 logs. Let's see, I want... that's too small for anything. Let's see if I can do it with this. And I'll put a carving knife. So, see if I can make a shaft. No, that's 2 damage for a shaft. Let's use the big one. That's 2 damage? Oh, wait. There we go. Excellent, almost made it but failed. But my skills went up to my carving knife, so better chance to succeed the next time. There we go. And for my shaft, I shall make a clay shaper and a spatula. Crossing fingers, will we get it the first time? We do. And we'll try the spatula. If you double click here, it'll queue up for however many you have chosen. That one didn't work. Let's try again. Excellent. And we can see that both of these items can be improved by using log with it. If we examine it, it'll tell us the same thing, could be improved with a log. Now you notice how low the quality is. It's 1.68, so I'll show you real quick how you can improve it. I'll drag my logs closer to make my life a little easier, and any log higher than that quality will improve it. So this little log here I'll use to improve the quality. Actually, let me get rid of that one first. Nah, I'll use the small one first. So I select it, make it green, right click here and hit improve, and this quality will go up, and the amount of my log will actually start to go down. Except I failed. I damaged it a little. Not a problem. I'll right click on it and hit repair. It gets repaired, but the quality goes down, and we'll just try to improve it again. And again, we're working up skills, the repair skill. And that time it worked, see? I got my improvement, achievement, the quality is still less than the log, and it still requires just a log, so we'll go ahead and improve it some more. And the higher the quality, depending on what you're improving, you're either going to get a better item made with it, or a higher chance of success that what you're trying to do with the item that you're improving will actually work for you. You go up to 4, still lower, excellent. And since these are so small things, it barely uses anything, even when it does fail. Yep, repair, improve, excellent. Alright, now it's higher, so if I try to improve it again, nothing's going to happen. And here it says the log's in too poor a shape to do anything to improve our scraper. So I go to a higher quality log and I can continue improving it. Now there's not much left to this log, but that's okay. That's why it's good to keep these logs around even when they're too small to actually make something out of them, because you can always use them to improve things. Now notice that my carpentry is increasing as well. That's the skill I'm using to improve it, because it's a wood item. And I can only go so far with the skill that I have, and it looks like I've reached it. Since my carpentry is 7, that's 8. It's not going very well. Let's improve the other one though and get that skill up a little higher. If you're working on lots of things, you can bring your skills up very quickly just through improving, which is a lot more resource friendly than if you're just constantly trying to build things. Carpentry's up to an 8 now. Now I'll bet I have a better chance to improve that. And there it goes. It went up again. And we'll do this a couple more times because it is going to max this out. I was hoping it would pop up a different improvement item, because there are different items that you need when you're improving carpentry. Can I squeak another one out of it? Oh, I can, and there it is. Now to improve this one, I actually need to hammer it. So I would need to have a mallet, and I do not believe a mallet is one of our starting items. So to go any further with that one in carpentry, I have to actually create a mallet, and that's something that we can do another day. So today, I want to work with clay. And we'll give it one more shot, see if we can get another one out of it. Oh, we did. Okay, one more. Alright, that's not bad for a first... Uh-oh. It's not bad for a first go-around. Now there are a couple things you can do to bring your skills up quicker. One of them is you could turn on the sleep bonus. And I don't actually have the sleep bonus yet, so I suspect I'm going to have to finish the quest line before I get it. Really quick, let's grab some clay. And let's do a little bit of crafting. I'm going to move this over here because I am going to use this. Excuse me. Alright, so a couple neat things that we can do here. The first thing I'm going to advise is if you have any low quality clay, that's the clay you use to craft with when you're first starting off. You don't want to destroy the high quality clay. Now I can select it by left clicking, and if I hold control I can select different things. Likewise, if I select something and hold shift, it selects everything between the two, and then I can use control to deselect certain things. So this is true in a lot of Microsoft based games. You have to do this type of stuff. And I want you to know that it is definitely true here. So we're going to put the clay up there, and I'm going to smush it together into one ball just for ease of use. Now, to actually create something out of clay, I've got to use my hand, and you'll notice over here there's a little add hand. And now I have all the choices that I can make out of clay. Now to make life easier, I can put my improvement things, and actually I don't want to mess up my 1, so let's create a 2. on my tool belt. This includes, actually if I go from my character screen, excuse me, I can grab this hand and put it there, making it very easy for me to choose the hand. If I had a larger tool belt, I could put the second tool, the shaper, and I can put a lump of good quality clay there as well, which is going to speed up how quickly I can do things. I'm on skills, excellent, and what I want to make right now is I want to make a bunch of clay jars. I want to make at least 3 successful clay jars, so let's go ahead and do that. And 3 because I can do 3 things at a time, so I can manipulate the 3 jars relatively easily. So let's create our 3 jars and start getting our pottery skill up. Hey, success. Pottery's increased to 2, excellent. And that one didn't. Oh yeah, it did. Successful there, excellent. And successful there at all. In fact, that's so nice and easy. Let's go ahead and make 3 more. Come on, little craft bar. There we go. Oh, 2 of those didn't work. I'll reduce this to 2 because I want my 6 now. Now that I said I'm going to make 6, I want to make 6. You notice when it fails, I lose a little bit of clay, and when it succeeds, I lose a little bit of clay. I should also note that the quality of the clay actually averaged out when we mushed it together. So you wouldn't want to mush like a quality 100 with a quality 1, because then you only have a quality 50 piece of clay. Never a good idea. Alright, 6 clay jars. That's where I want to be. Now we're going to work on improving them. So I'm going to put away my craft window. The deal with clay is you can only improve it until you fire it. Once you fire it, whatever quality it is, that's the quality it's going to stay. So let's see. Come up here where I can get at you. Very good. Alright, so if I look over here, I have a little picture of clay, and if you ever don't know what the picture is, just right click, examine it, and in your event window say, hey, it can be improved with clay. The qualities are all nice and very low. I made this nice, let's see, where's my big piece of clay? There it is. Not much higher, but I'll activate it. And here's something that I've recently learned. If I shift click, the number of items that I'm capable of manipulating, in this case it's 3, and right click and do my improve, it does the improvement to all 3 items, or it attempts to do the improvement to all 3 items. 1 success, 2 failure. You can do the same thing with repair. So long as it all needs the same item, I can click and I can hit improve. Again, I have 2 failures and 1 success. Now it's important to note that if you have the entire stack of things that you're working with chosen or selected, it only works on the top 3. 1, 2, 3. It doesn't matter where you click, it's always going to work on those top 3. So if I click down here, it doesn't do it to this one. It does it to the top 3. And I will repair that. Still have some clay, so let's keep going. Now, the clay repair is actually beneath this, so it's not even trying these anymore. And it won't extend beyond those, because again, first 3, so it's really just continuing to do the improvement on that top one. Kind of a waste of effort. So if I hit Control and deselect these 2, and then hit Improve, again, now the top 3 is 1, 2, 3. So I'm getting a lot more improvement done for each click. There's a lot of clicking and a lot of time spent doing this within this game. So if you can save yourself a little bit of time and a little bit of clicking by being efficient, that's the way to go. Oh, these 2 have come above that particular piece of clay. So now I'll work on these 2. And maybe a lot of people already knew this, but when I found this out, it was like eureka moment, because my higher character can actually work on 4 things at a time, so each click can work on 4 things instead of having to click each one time for 4 clicks. It made things much, much quicker. Okay, so now everything's above that level, but it's still only clay that's required for an improvement, so I can go to a higher level of clay. Anything above 5, 11 would be a good place, so I'll make that active. Select these. Oops. And I'll start my improving again. The entire time, slowly but surely, my pottery skill is coming up. So if you're trying to skill up quickly, this is the way to do it. If you have enough items you're working on, as your skill comes up, you can bring each of them up a little bit higher. So with enough items, you can actually start out really, really low in skill with poor quality things, and you can work them up very, very high in a single sitting. Now the higher quality gives you a couple of benefits. The one that comes to mind with buildings and carts and things of that nature is everything in the game kind of rots. Let's switch to hand, and we'll do that in a moment. For now, let's just unclick it. Plus it's over my 11 anyway. And we'll get a couple of others up that high. Everything in the game rots slowly. It slowly takes damage over time. The higher the quality, the less damage it takes over time. When you get to weapons, the higher the quality, the quicker or harder hitting it would be. So it is important to get our quality up as high as we can. And then when you're first starting out and you need to purchase things, either tools, better tools, equipment, better tool belt is one of the first ones that I would recommend. The higher the quality item you've created, the more it's going to sell for to a trader or to another player. Note that one no longer needs clay, that one wants water now, so I'm kind of working my way toward the water. You can't walk and improve things at the same time, you'll tend to fail on them. And in truth, I'm not going to be able to get water because I have nothing to put it in, I don't think, but that's why I'm making clay jars, so I can start storing water in my clay jars. Let me check real quick. I don't think I can put it in a bowl. Let's find out. No, I can't. Okay. So we definitely need to get these jars in the road. Let's see. Improve you. Improve you. Put you guys together. And improve. Actually, I'm going to cheat. I activate this one. See if I can fill it. No, I can't. Okay, so I guess I'm not going to cheat. I thought you could put water into clay items, but evidently you cannot. Okay. So really quick, some other things do tend to pop up from time to time. In this case, it's the hand, but we have the hand over here in the tool belt. So if I hit the number 2, I automatically activate the hand, so I don't even have to bring the mouse over there. And I can attempt to improve this. And improving with your hand is to mold it. We'll hit that. Oh, success. Now it needs this little stick, which is our clay shaper. I'll activate that, and again I'll mold it. And now it's back to wanting clay, which is fine. All except for you selected. You can keep raising it. Oops. Silly me. There we go. Until either you've improved it to the highest quality level item or resource that you have to improve with, or until your skill gets to that point where it's not working anymore. So if you get more failures than you get actual improvements, it's probably time to stop. And improve. There we go. Now just as a matter of example, if I choose my spatula and hit improve or hit mold, first one works, second one works. Didn't do it to that one. because it will only manipulate the top 3. Again, so keep that in mind. If I wanted all 3 of the spatulas to go at the same time, I would have had to deselect other items so that there's only 3. The other neat thing is if we arrange our column by what we need to improve, by hitting this little improve sliver of a square, put all my hands together. So I can select all my hands, select the hand itself, and mold it. So there are a couple neat tricks here that can help you manipulate the system, if you will. Hit 1, mold that one and see where it's going to go. Once the shaper. Where'd my shaper go? I'll get it in a minute. Let's get a nice piece of clay. And continue my improving. Nope, can't do anything with water right now. So that's the stop point for that one, unfortunately. And you can see I've actually got my pottery up to 15. I've got relatively high for a beginning player tools, so I have a very good success rate, and I can probably take this a lot further. Let's see, where's my clay shaper? There it is. But eventually you are going to hit a stop point where it's just not going to work for you anymore. And that's okay until you get your skills higher. We could do one of two things. I could create more clay jars and manipulate them to bring the skill up. And then once it comes up, I'll be able to even improve these clay jars because I haven't fired them yet. And here we are crafting. It's really what the game's about. Not really interesting to watch, but I hope you kind of got this technique down and you're able to use it. But as my time is running short, I'm going to go ahead and be satisfied because I got 2 very nice clay jars set up here. So we're going to go ahead and start up that, and we're going to fire these suckers because that's the next part of being a potter. So I already have some kindling, excellent. I will get my flint and steel. Let's go somewhere out of the water. Here's fine. I will right click my wood scrap. Not my wood scrap, where's my kindling? I will right click my kindling and create the campfire. The wood scrap is important though. I'm going to show you in just a moment why. There is my fire. I'm creating more fires because I was queued up for 3. I hit escape a couple times and unqueued them. I say I was queued up for 3. In here, the last bit of manipulating I was doing was by 3s, so it thought I wanted to create 3 campfires. It's kind of a weird way it works there. If I open my campfire, I can take my jars, there they are, and I'll put them in the campfire and it's going to start to heat them, which is going to, once it gets hot enough, fire them. Now here's a mistake I used to make. I know I got to get it hot and I know I got to let it burn for a while, so I would take my wood scrap and I'd put it in the inventory with my clay jars. That wasn't actually adding fuel to the fire, I was just destroying the wood scrap. But if you select the wood scrap, you will get a choice up here to burn it. Click that, and now the wood scrap is being used as fuel for the fire. It'll burn longer, and it'll burn a little bit hotter. Same thing goes for logs. If I put it in there, it'll start taking damage because it's burning, but it doesn't add to the campfire's length or heat. So that's a low quality one. And I'll burn it as well. And this is it. There's barely any of that left. Burn. And when you have items that you have no other use for, and you're doing something like firing it, throw those wood suckers in there. Get them burning. It gets the weight off of you so you can move faster. And you'll get this nice and hot. Clay jars are hot. They're going to go glowing, and then they're going to turn into usable pottery jars. It's not that I don't have use for clay, but the clay is heavy, and I want to finish this up back in Lidicania, finishing the last of the little missions it puts us on. So I will leave it here. Anyone comes along, they're going to be able to take it, but I'm okay with that. I'm done with it for the time being. And now it's just waiting for the clay jars to get finished. So if I were making 20 or 30 clay jars to try and make a nice little profit, I could be working on the clay jars I can continue to improve while firing the ones that I can't. So that way things are getting done. Likewise, if this were my homestead, my deed inside my nice little locked house, which I'm going to have to find a place to build next time we play, I could just leave, go on and do other things, and then come back and check on it from time to time until everything is nice and cooked. There's still clay jars. Now they're searing hot. They're going to get glowing hot, and then they're going to turn to pottery. You're coming right up on the 25-minute mark, and I've got a little ways to go to get back to Lidicania, so I need you guys to cook up quick. Hurry up and cook. Then I'm going to swim across the lake, because I don't have a lot of weight on me, and it's kind of a shortcut. I know Lidicania is right over there. That's the dock for Fyrehouse Ranch and the bunkhouse. And this is a little worship area that we built and are trying to maintain. Now you notice as I'm burning, it sends up a pillar of smoke. So if you're in a PvP area and there are other players around, watch out, because now they know you're there and that you're actively doing something. Plus, if I leave this area and someone sees that, they could always come see what's going on, because you can see it from quite a ways out. Find what I was doing, and they could take it. I've abandoned it for all intents and purposes. Let's see where we're at. Are you pottery? Still clay? Searing hot, searing hot. Goes slower on a campfire, but I threw a couple pieces of wood in there, so we should be good. If this were a forge or a kiln, which is actually designed for the larger pottery items you can make, it would get a lot hotter a lot quicker. Plus you can make forges and kilns higher quality. The higher the quality, the quicker and hotter it heats up. So this improving thing is very, very valuable to you. That one's glowing from the heat. Alright, it should be pottery soon. A couple of them are glowing from the heat. Excellent. We're soon going to have clay jars, and we're going to be able to hold water so that we don't have to hang around the water while we're exploring. We can bring some with us. We can also use the water that are in these jars. There's my first pottery jar. The water that's in these jars to improve things with water. Let me grab that sucker right now. And unfortunately I fired them all. Had I kept one, I could have shown you an example. But I fill this with water, and this water is a usable resource. I could right click it, click over there, and I can actually use water and it would improve it. Oh, it actually improved it in the fire. I just learned something. Quick, let's improve this one. I knew you could do this with metal that was in a forge, or items that were in a forge. That's very awesome. I can also right click it and I can drink it. I can drag it over to a tool belt and access it for repairing and improving things with a hotkey, just like any other item. I now have a bunch of pottery jars. Let's take them. And most importantly, the water will stay. It doesn't leak out of my pottery jar. So I can fill it and take some water with me. Got some nice quality items here. I'll keep the top two for myself. Having them filled with water. In fact, I could pop open my backpack, which doesn't have anything in it, and I can put these two in there so I do not accidentally sell them. Anything else I want in there? Let's put the compass in there. Can't lose the conch, and it has no immediate purpose, but I'll show you what it does a little bit later. And I'll keep my pottery that I'm keeping in there. Excellent. Now I have my axe and my shovel and hotkeys, but they will not fit into a backpack. The smaller items will, so once you put on a hotkey, you can just put it in the backpack and you don't have to worry about it taking up your inventory space. Oh, my last pottery jar is set. Snag that sucker. And let's go for a quick swim. We'll see what we can get from the trader as far as monies are concerned. And then next time, we're going to find a place where we can level out a tiny little piece of land. And we can, oh, achievement, wet feet, swimming, yay. Where we can level out land and make a little tiny shack at first. Just so we have a place that we can rest our weary head and store some of our items so we don't have to carry everything everywhere. Congrats, you are swimming. Swimming takes stamina. Oh, good point. And if you run out, you start taking damage. You're actually drowning. Everyone in Wurm knows how to swim, and it can be helpful because a lot of the creatures do not know how to swim, and if they're killing you and you get in the water, they'll leave you alone. There are some that will follow you in. Crocodiles are obvious. Bears can swim as well. If you're out of stamina but near a steep shore, you have an option on your body called Last Gasp. So if we hit C, the lower left corner is our body. We can click that, and we will have, I guess when you're drowning, you will have this last gasp item to try and save yourself. Well, maybe you have to activate your body. I didn't know you could do that. See, I'm still learning with you guys. And it will actually allow you to climb up the steep slope and escape the water and escape drowning. Here we are coming into Little. Let's see what our efforts are going to give us as far as monies are concerned. I wouldn't expect a lot. 15 and 18 quality or something, but they're now 80 or 90 quality. And hopefully she has some money. Every Monday, I think it is, the server resets. So your bonuses reset, and the money gets distributed evenly throughout the traders. But once they spend money and they're out of money, they can't trade anymore. Alright, so this is all the stuff that she has to sell and all the things that people have sold to her. Now we're going to try and sell our pottery jars. So I'm just going to do it quickly. I'm going to throw all 4 of them in there. She'll take it. She's not offering me any money though. Are you out of money? What's the price for one of these? 53 iron. Oh no, she might be out of money. Well, drats, now I have the pottery and I can't sell it. I have to get to a trader, or a player or another trader in order to sell it. It looks like someone's come in and sold things to her. Spatula, nice quality. Looks 27 copper. Very nice. Oh dear. Alright, well that's okay. I have the pottery jars and they do have uses, so I will hang on to them. We will finish up that final quest. Where's our little quest dude? That's it. Just some final advice. Try to find a bed when logging off for long periods of time. I added the for long periods of time. If you sleep long enough, you'll be invigorated and receive a bonus for a while when you return. When it comes to fighting, he doesn't teach us that, but initially just do as much as possible. Standing still, doing nothing, is less effective. Try to stay alive. And fighting is its own little thing. So, yay. We have, oops, I didn't acknowledge it. I am ready to venture into the darkness. Send. Fast learner. We got 100 karma. Yay. And then up here, we have 5 hours of sleep bonus. And I will show you how you can use that to raise your skills quicker next time. Thank you again for coming out to the ranch, and I will see you soon. I'm going to try to get these out on a more regular basis for the couple of fans I have watching them. I hope you learned something, and be safe.